Okay, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a battery change on a VRSCA 2002 to 2006 V-Rod key fob. Now, a lot of things that I have noticed is a lot of people do not know how to change these batteries. Well, it's actually more simple than you think. There is no reprogramming. There is no I have to retune like some people think, which might be the case on some other bikes, but this one is very straightforward. With that, we'll get into the meat and potatoes. All you're gonna need is two things: your sanity and this here tool. Also, you're going to need to buy a battery, which I have here. You're going to want to buy this battery right here, the ECR 2032 button battery. It is going to look about like this right here. As you can see, it's the same battery. This is what I pulled out of it. But for demonstration purposes, I figured it would be important to change this here fob. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your screwdriver. You're going to go up here to the top, and you're going to look for that little indentation right there. And there. And you're going to pry this apart. So I'll get back to you right after that. Alrighty, I'm back. So, best thing to do with this is you've got a rubber seal in here you don't want to damage. It keeps all the moisture away from your electronics. I'm going to try and do this one-handed, but you're going to wedge the screwdriver up here, and you're going to twist. Whoops. And of course, you're going to throw it right in the floor. That is part of Checkpart's procedure, throwing it right in the floor. But I think you get the idea. Apologies here, it's just all on my phone, so turn that. Now that's popped loose. Get your finger right here, your index, and your thumb on this side, and it'll pop right up. Now, we are to the battery. So it's important to keep this orientation as how you see it. Don't mix this around because you will mess up your remote if you do that. This here is your button battery. I'll try and plop that bad boy out of there. Now, when you go to reinstall your battery, take note, it says positive down. So, you're going to look at your battery. You're going to see in the light here, it says positive. Plop that down. But you're going to want to be careful as to not mess up this prong back here. So it's going to take a couple tries to get it in. The best method is to come in the front here, slide it down. Whoops. Did it one-handed again. Had it upside down anyhow. You're going to come in, slide it down, and it clicks right into place. Now, let's say you just drop this in the floor. Whoops. All right, which orientation does it go? Well, it's very simple. Don't panic. If you know electronics, you might notice this pad goes on top of the battery. That's the negative. However, all it is basic elementary shapes. Just notice how not every corner is the same. Now look at here, on this board piece here, same exact thing right here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna place them side by side, and then you're gonna orient them. See how that doesn't look like it fit? You're just gonna orient them like this to where this pad would meet with this battery. Make sure that's face down. That's a common mistake a lot of people make, is they'll have it backwards and then they'll wonder why their fob doesn't work. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we're going to take our top piece here, check our seal, which is this rubber piece right here. We're going to then put this over. Now, lining this can be a challenge, but it's a square peg and a square hole, so you can't necessarily mess that up. Take your palm, lightly flatten it. You might hear a couple clicks, that's normal. You'll feel this go down. Take your thumb and your palm. Hear how it kind of crunches a little bit? Means you weren't sealing properly. So, and then boom, that's it. In 5 minutes, you have changed your key fob battery, and all you needed was a screwdriver and a 2032 battery. So something else to note, at least once every year you want to change out your batteries. I do it every 8 months. It depends on you, but as long as you change them every year, because what will happen is you'll lock yourself out of your bike, and then the security system is going to be armed, and it won't disarm. There's this thing called a pin. Know nothing about it. 9 times out of 10, no one else knows their pin either. So this fob is heavily important. I've actually seen one accident where it literally locked him out of his bike, shut his engine off on the highway, locked his rear wheel up, didn't know he could pull in a clutch. But yeah, it was some gnarly stuff on his post, so make sure you keep up to date with this here battery. And if you have the red key light flashing on, that's a sign you need to replace this here battery. I cannot stress it enough. Alrighty, that all being said, if you have anything else that I didn't seem to go over, do let me know. And any sort of engagement is positive engagement. So, that all being said, catch you next time.